CCW fans, we are live back again with CCW Insider. Lizzie, we have taken this and we have resurrected it back from the dead. I am your CCW broadcaster, Tyler Cashmere, here, joined alongside by the always lovely, the best at what she does, Lizzie Almeida. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. We have a lot coming up this weekend.
We do. 3 huge shows, a triple header. And before we get into it, I think it's time we run that intro.
Let's go.
And already we're jumping into it. We already got our first person, Riley Bell. Hi. Hello, Riley. Welcome to the chaos. Welcome to the fun. All right, Lizzie. Triple header weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we're going to jump right into it because in Doral, Tripping Animals, we are back. We got Rumble in the Jungle 3. You know, Rumble in the Jungle, Lizzie, I know you've been to them. I think they're catching up already. I mean, those crowds are insane.
First of all, I think I posted this last time, and I really mean it. Don't tell Hialeah, but Doral is actually becoming my favorite crowd. I'm not even kidding. Like, they're so hyped. Like, and it makes my job as a ring announcer so much easier because like everybody's like the entire night, everybody's just ready to go. And it's really just such the best crowd, and it's a great venue. It's a great area. Anybody who hasn't been there, you guys need to come out.
It really is insane. I'm glad it makes your life easier as a ring announcer, because as a commentator, it does not. Because I have Lou sitting right next to me. I can't hear a damn thing he's saying when they're screaming. And speaking of screaming, this match, it's got people talking already. Ooh. Domino versus Elliot Crow. Man, these two guys I'm so high on. They are like the upper echelon. They are coming up, the two young guns. And Lizzie, I don't know if you've seen it. We had leaked CCTV footage at the CCW arena of these two getting into it already scrapped up.
First of all, what is going on?
I don't know. Eddie Valentine he looked as surprised as all of us. Like he had my reaction when I was watching that. Like nobody knew what was going on. Those two want to get at each other's throats. And so I just want to know, what are your thoughts heading into this match?
You know what? Like we were saying, the crowd in Doral, like that is Domino's backyard. I think Elliot Crow better watch his back because that crowd, they're not a joke.
No, they love Domino. Domino was born like 2 minutes away from that brewery. Like that, Domino represents his people in SoFlo.
Absolutely.
Here we go. We already got some more comments. Big fan of CCW. Got some CCW chants. The crown is my people. Yeah, the crown is everybody's people. I mean, we love the crown.
We love the crown. My brothers. Speaking of the crown, big match this week for them.
Big match. And right here, we got another comment. Where was the episode of Alive? At 7 p.m. here on YouTube. Alive is coming up. It's been through some delays, but it is coming out shortly. But right now, we got to keep on running down this card because we got so much. I'm glad we were getting comments, though. We're getting people interacting. I already see all over social media people are having fun, getting excited for this show. And Lizzie, we're just going to go straight into our next match. We got Roma versus Kelsey Reagan. I don't think you could have picked two polar opposites. You have Roma, the fan favorite, the always bubbly, the always having a good time. And then you got Kelsey Reagan. Says she is the daughter of the damned. I don't even know what that means. Sounds like she would fit in right with the Invoked. I'm scared every time I see her. She's tatted up. She's mean. And this is going to be a good one.
Well, so we've seen Kelsey come and go throughout the different venues. This is definitely going to be her first time at Doral. It's also going to be Roma's first time at Doral as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that crowd receives both of them. But I mean, it's like you said, Roma is a big fan favorite everywhere she goes. So I'm really excited for that match.
Do you got to pick? Who do you think?
You know, I gotta go with my girl Roma. We're like this, so go Roma.
gotta pick the home girl. And speaking of that, how about the hometown boy ChaCha Charlie in Doral versus Mike Donovan, the Brooklyn Brawler? This one is going to be interesting. You know, ChaCha, he's been coming out as the face of the franchise. He is the measuring stick. He takes all upcoming challengers. I don't think Donovan has been in CCW. I don't think we've seen him compete, but he has over 20 years of experience just killing it all over the country. This one's going to be hard hitting for sure. And ChaCha Charlie, I think, has to watch his back when he steps in the ring.
Well, I think, like you said, ChaCha is kind of like that measuring stick for CCW. Obviously, we call him the CCW franchise for a reason. ChaCha's been around a very long time. And I think that anybody who's coming through CCW that actually really wants to try and make a name for themselves, they have to go through ChaCha Charlie.
Absolutely. And it's not going to be easy for either one of them. You know, ChaCha, he's got to be thinking about this weekend coming up. Friday, he has that huge match against Roger Stallion. And, you know, he can't overpass Mike Donovan because Mike Donovan, like I said, dangerous competitor inside that ring. And this Rumble in the Jungle card, man, it is stacking up. Like, I mean, look at this next match. I mean, you think that crowd, I'm not going to hear anything Lou says.
First of all, who are they? Are the cheers going to be louder for Monster Mosh, or are the boos going to be louder for 5-Star Era?
Listen, Monster Mosh,
I can't tell it.
Those people love Monster Mosh. They hate 5-Star Era that much more. They will boo 5-Star Era out of that building. This one is going to be so fun. I think I'm looking forward to this one the most. Who do you think's got the edge coming into this one?
I mean, let's just run it back. 2 Rumble in the Jungles ago. I hate to talk about it, but we have to bring it up. There was a lot going on at that show. We even had a fan throw a drink on Ricky. Last month, they were just as angry at him. So like we said, big rivalry between ERA and Ricky with Domino. Like we said, it's Domino's house, so to speak. So Ricky and ERA definitely not welcome there. So we're like last month, I couldn't hear myself when I was announcing them. So let's see how we do. But I really think that because of the heat that those guys have, that and obviously Monster Rush is already super popular. Everyone loves them. They are screaming for skits. They're screaming for Ozzy the entire match. So that's a tough one, but I'm gonna go with 5-Star Era. They always have something. They always have something up their sleeve, man.
That is not going to be going over well with the fans. I know for sure. Look at this already getting comments. ChaCha, the face of CCW. Look, and also Ryan Davis. ERA had me fooled, man. I legit thought he was hurt. He had everyone fooled. He had everybody fooled on that one.
That's what I'm saying. They always have something up their sleeve. Like you can't bet against them.
Absolutely not. And then look at this one. Gangrel versus the Raw Dogs. James Tapia. Raw Dogs on top. But James Tapia has one hell of a challenge. He's taking on the legendary Vampire Warrior, his head trainer. I mean, this one, Lizzie, this is going to be tough for the Raw Dogs. It's going to be a tough one for the Raw Dogs.
So I think just kind of running things back a little bit, like we talk about, ChaCha's the franchise of CCW. People have to like go through him. Gangrel is kind of like our final boss here, right? Like he's a legend. He has such a great relationship with all the students, and what hasn't he done in this business? So I think that just him having that stature going into this match, obviously he's a big favorite. We also have to remember that James Tapia was meant to challenge QT Marshal for the CCW title at Bash at the Brew. And James Tapia is pissed off that he didn't get his title shot because QT wasn't cleared to compete last Saturday. So Tapia might be coming in here on fire. He might surprise us.
I've never seen Tapia not pissed off. I don't speak Spanish, but when I hear that guy talk, he's angry all the time.
Angry.
So he's going to bring the fight for sure to Gangrel. And then to wrap up this Rumble in the Jungle card, we got South American Alliance and Bullseye. South American Alliance, huge match coming up next. But can Bullseye pull off the upset in Doral, Lizzie?
Well, it would definitely be an upset. I think that it's great to see the South American Alliance back together. They're on fire. Coming into this week, right? We're talking about they have a really big match with the Crown on Friday at our big anniversary show. So this is really a no-lose type of situation for South American Alliance. They really can't lose because they need to keep that momentum going into Friday.
Absolutely. Bullseye is going to get killed. South American Alliance is going to run straight through them because that is what they do, and they are focused on the Crown, and they want those tag team championships back. Fans, you cannot miss Rumble in the Jungle 3, our return to Tripping Animals. It's one of the craziest crowds in Florida. It is tomorrow, April 18th. It is the first show in our triple header. Come be a part of history. Come to all 3 shows.
Ooh, I mean, honestly, is it even a triple header? Because we're just coming off of Bash this past Saturday. We have 4 shows in 1 week. Like, I don't even think we've ever done this before. Like, that's how crazy it is right now.
It is insane. You're absolutely correct. And before we go into the next show, we got to talk about the CCW Training Facility. Fans, why be fans anymore? Come to the CCW Training Facility. Live out that dream. I know me and Lizzie could speak on it. It is a great environment, a great place to learn. You're learning from the legend himself, Gangrel. Lizzie, tell them about it.
Well, I mean, I think we just talked a little bit about this. Gangrel is a legend. He's also our trainer. He still wrestles with CCW, and he tours with us as well. So it's really just such a good environment. And you see the type of people that are coming through just to train with us. If you see every single day, they post the pictures of the different folks that come through just to be able to to train at our facility. So you really never know who's going to be passing through and who you can get to work with. There's people that come through that have been up and down the business. They're a wealth of knowledge. I think that it really just speaks for itself, right? And just the fact that it's not a gimmick. Like, we really are the last territory. Like, we run shows every single weekend all over Florida, Nashville. We've been everywhere. So I really think it's just such a good opportunity. Tyler, you used to be a fan. I used to be a fan. I think that we're really a good personal testament to how, if you have the passion for it, that there's a place for you in the company.
Absolutely. And if you don't want to take our word for it, why don't you take her word for it?
Hey, what's up? It is 12 Gauge Paige Van Zant. And as you know, I just transitioned into pro wrestling. And I wouldn't go anywhere else in South Florida other than CCW, where I get to train with David Gangrel.
You like that transition? I learned that from Lost Man.
You're basically a professional.
Not yet. But here we go. Friday, April 19th, anniversary 20. It is time to make some history. Lizzie, I think could be the biggest card CCW has ever put on, the biggest show in the last territory. I mean, just stacked. Any one of these matches we're going to talk about.
What do you mean possibly could be? It is. Did you look at the lineup? Just look at the lineup. That's all I have to say.
Let's throw it up right now. Stallion Rogers versus ChaCha Charlie. Are you kidding me? You want to talk about Banner alert? This one could be match of the year. Stallion Rogers coming off that heated rivalry with S2S. They had some incredible matches. And ChaCha Charlie, we talked about the measuring stick. He don't care about Stallion Rogers' credentials. He is the man of CCW, and he's going to put that to the test. Lizzie, who do you got in this one?
You know what? I think ChaCha should care about Stallion's credentials because he should be worried about his chest. If you guys have seen him wrestle, he had the triple header with Allan S2S Martinez, like you were saying. I sit ringside. I felt some of those chops. Like I was sick watching Allan sometimes. The way that he was coming out of that ring, his chest was red, bruised, bleeding. ChaCha, I hope that you have some strategy to combat that because it doesn't look fun.
I hope he comes with some big strategies, and we know he is. He's the franchise. He's going to bring it to Stallion Rogers. And right here, we got Ryan Davis asking, where are we at with QT? Is he still CCW champion? Of course he is. And he will be main eventing in a huge match that we will be getting forward to. Here we go, Robert. Hey, prayers up for Robert. Shout out to my guy, Robert. Biggest show to date. You're absolutely correct. Will we be able to see it live on YouTube? You will be able to see it on YouTube, not live. It'll come out probably a month later. The only way to see it live is by buying your tickets at ccwrestlingfl.com.
Ed Hearn, I better see you in that crowd.
And here we go, Lizzie. We're going to keep it going.
Let's go,
What
brother.
about this one? South American Alliance versus the Crown in a no DQ match, mind you. I don't even know which team gets the advantage in that. They are going to be brawling all over the Mid-Florida Event Center. There's going to be blood. There's going to be emotion. It's going to be insane. Man, like I said, any one of these matches can main event any show. How are we feeling about this one?
So the Crown have been the champions for a very long time. They're coming in well over a year as champions now. Crowd favorites, definitely. They're popular everywhere they go. And they're brothers. So they have that that intuition with each other that they just work so well. They don't have to talk. You see them. They just feed off of each other, exceptionally well. And then you have Ariel, Levy, and Vinicius. But don't forget, they have Fonzie in their corner. And
manager of champions, baby.
Yeah, the manager of champions, he doesn't play. So Fonzie is, I already know he's going to be involved in one way, shape, or form or another. So I'm really excited to see. To hopefully see him do things safely. But I think I'm going to give the champions the advantage. It's always champions' advantage. They don't have to beat the South American Alliance. The South American Alliance has to beat the Crown.
Absolutely. And I think I spoke to this testament on the last Insider. I think this match really is who is the president of CCW right now? Who in that locker room are you going to look at and be like, those are the guys that run it? Because it's been for a long time, South American Alliance. So much so, South American Alliance had to implode on itself for their dominance to break. And now the Crown has picked that up. But South American Alliance wants it. I think this is a battle of the presence. I can't give you a solidified pick. I can't give you this. It's going to be amazing. And speaking of amazing, look at this. Billy Gunn, AEW star, daddy ass himself, going to be scissoring at Anniversary 20, making his return to CCW. It's been a while.
Come on, Tyler.
Lizzie,
Come on, Tyler.
throw him up. Throw him up. How excited are you to see Billy Gunn live?
I'm so excited. I'm such a Billy Gunn fan. Obviously, growing up, watching WWE, he was such a big part of my childhood. And growing up watching him in, not just in WWE, but part of DX. He was then moving on to TNA, now in AEW. He has just had such a lengthy career and just been successful everywhere he goes. And he looks amazing. Just don't even say his age. He looks just as good as he did 20, 30 years ago. So I'm really excited to see him live.
That dude is built out of iron. He doesn't age. He went from suck it to scissoring. You got to love it. And it'll be interesting to see if he gets he gets into any action. We got to see, though. We got to see. And then moving right along, we got some women's action, and it's a big one. CCW women's. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be big. CCW Women's Champion, NWA star Ruthie J taking on Kisemi's favorite, Amber Nova. I wonder who the fans are going to be behind this one, because both are beloved by the fans.
This is hard. It's so hard. So, as you said, obviously Amber Nova is big favorite over in Kisemi. She's amazing. I've seen, I've never actually worked a show with her, and I'm really excited just to work a show with her, to be honest. But just, she is comparable to the women's division of the ChaCha, she's been around. She's a staple at that show specifically. And I want to see her be a staple at, just throughout CCW at the other venues that we work at as well. And then you have Ruthie. Ruthie's big time NWA superstar. Ruthie has been with us a long time. Ruthie is very talented, very savvy. She doesn't call herself the 5-star athlete for nothing. Like, she really backs it up in the ring. So those two, it's going to be a banger. I can't choose. Don't make me choose.
Every card Ruthie J that I have called that she has been on has stolen the show. The whole audience standing on their feet, giving her a round of applause. She is our CCW Women's Champion, but she's got a big test against Amber Nova. Can't wait for it. And Anniversary 20, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger because we got Matt Riddle versus Jackal Stevens. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, CCW management? I mean, they're just spoiling us. Matt Riddle and Jackal Stevens. Jackal Stevens, who I will say is the best technical wrestler in that ring in CCW, taking on Matt Riddle, who has been killing it across the globe, former WWE superstar. He is killing it in New Japan. He's killing it in MLW. Wherever this guy goes, he is an animal, and it is going to be, I mean, it's going to be hard to commentate that one because I'm going to just want to sit back as a fan and just appreciate what I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean, Jackal Stevens is a pillar in CCW. So I think that underestimating him just because he's going up against, someone with the notoriety of Matt Riddle, you might eat your words there. I'm not gonna bet against my boy Jackal.
It's not a smart bet to bet against Jackal. And I mean, Jackal has been on such a roll ever since losing that CCW Heavyweight Championship. He is determined to climb back to that mountain. He is undefeated since losing that CCW Championship in singles matches. Matt Riddle has been killing it everywhere you go. We got two forces going head to head at Anniversary 20. It is going to be insane. And this card just keeps going and going because Gangrel back in action, back to back for the Vampire Warrior. Gangrel taking on Eddie Torres with, of course, Dr. Eric Christopher at his side. Lizzie, anytime Dr. Eric Christopher's out there, you got to keep an eye on him.
You gotta watch. Yeah, you gotta watch it with the nefarious Dr. Eric Christopher. I think he is definitely going to be a factor in this match. But if you've been to our shows at Port St. Lucie, you know that those fans go crazy for the Vampire Warrior, and he really draws on that. So I'm behind Gangrel all the way.
Chi-Chi's mom, we agree. We agree. We cannot wait to see this match, and Gangrel is awesome.
He is.
And one thing we have to keep in mind with Gangrel and Eddie Torres is Gangrel, like we said, coming off a match. Eddie Torres is coming into this the fresher man. And with Dr. Eric Christopher at his side, all the cards are stacked against Gangrel, but he's the Vampire Warrior. I think if Dr. Eric Christopher doesn't watch himself, he might eat an impaler. And that
I'd love to see it.
That might be the biggest pop of the night. But here we go. To round things off, I mean, just look at this card, then look.
It doesn't end.
AEW's Brian Cage versus our CCW World Heavyweight Champion, QT Marshal. Brian Cage undefeated here in CCW. He has taken on all comers, some of the best professional wrestling has to offer. And he said, damn it, why the hell haven't I got a title shot? He's been waiting all this time. And finally, he gets to go up against the CCW World Heavyweight Champion, QT Marshal. Lot riding on this one. Could go down as one of the biggest matches in CCW. Lizzie, who's your money on?
Well, like you said, Brian we've seen what he can do. We've seen what he can do in AEW. We've seen him a lot in CCW over the last few years. So we cannot discount any of his abilities. But QT is our champion, and I'm going to stand by our champion. He went through not just Jackal Stevens, but also Alex Chamberlain a couple months ago in a big triple threat match. We can't forget that. I really think that QT, he definitely has his work cut out for him, but I think he's going to come out on top.
Seeing from the chat, I think the fans agree with you. They're saying QT all the way. We will have to see, man. Brian Cage, guy is such a beast. He is just unbelievable. And this whole night of action is going to be unbelievable. Join us in making history. The Last Territory, can you believe it? 20 years, the longest professional wrestling company based in the state of Florida. It is unbelievable. You have to get your tickets April 19th. You can't miss it. Port St. Lucie, Mid-Florida Event Center. And Lizzie, before we continue with our last show of the weekend, CCW Alive. It's usually every Tuesday at 7. We ran into a little technical difficulties, but this is what you can expect when the new Alive episode drops.
Attention wrestling fans, the place to be each and every Tuesday is on the Coastal Championship Wrestling YouTube channel, where a new episode of CCW Alive Wrestling drops at 7 p.m. Witness the hard-hitting, high-flying action that is synonymous with the longest-running independent wrestling promotion in the Southeastern United States. Subscribe today and don't you dare miss it.
Make sure to subscribe to CCW YouTube channel and make sure to catch Alive when it drops. Unbelievable. Lizzie, we have over 60 people watching us. The CCW faithful going crazy for this weekend. Wow. And we are excited. So let's get in to the last show of this stacked weekend. And
let's go.
How do you follow Anniversary 20? We do the classic Breakout 35. And you know what? I think this show is for whoever's on this show to go out there and steal the weekend, to prove that they belong, to go out there and show what they got. And I love a good breakout. And right here, look at this banger right off the bat. Allan S2S Martinez versus the always dangerous Alex Chamberlain. Allan S2S Martinez, again, pound for pound, could be one of the best wrestlers in the ring CCW has. Alex Chamberlain is just an animal. Anytime he steps in that ring, he destroys all his opponents. This one is going to be interesting. You got the size difference. You got the flying difference. It's going to be crazy.
Allan, I don't think that I've ever, well, I'm not going to say ever, but it's very rare that you don't see Allan at a size disadvantage in a match. So I think that that's just his BAU now. That's normal for him. Like, he eats that for breakfast. So I think that, you know, Alex is obviously the bigger man. He's got the power game on his side. But Allan might surprise us. I mean, he has the aerial ability. He has the technical ability as well. Allan can do it all. So let's see who comes out on top for that one.
Yeah, I think the big one for Allan in that one, just try to avoid getting into grapple exchanges with Alex Chamberlain. Because Chamberlain grabs a hold of you, he's not letting go. He is slowing things down, pumping those brakes, and just dishing out punishment. And so that will be very interesting to see how that one goes. And this one has been building up for a while at Breakout. Eddie Valentine versus Lakai. Folks, if you don't know, Eddie Valentine has been ducking Lakai like the flu. I mean, he does not want to get in singles action, but it looks like finally, Lizzie, we are going to see Eddie Valentine take on Lakai, and Lakai's going to have his chance to get his hands on Eddie Valentine.
First of all, I think you need to address him properly. He is the sexiest man in professional wrestling. So I think you just need to put some respect on his name.
Self-proclaimed sexiest man alive in professional wrestling.
Yeah, sexiest man alive. But I mean, you got to remember, Eddie has Joe, and they work so well together. I think Lakai might need some type of equalizer, because you can't fight 2-on-1 by yourself.
You know, last Breakout, he had Gangrel in his corner for a tag team match. Him and Gangrel came out victorious. So you never know. Gangrel might be watching his back. If Joe gets involved, he might eat an impaler. So you never know there. But, I mean, it's going to be heavy hitting. You got Lakai and Eddie Valentine. That's a lot of beef in that ring. We're going to be hearing a bunch of meat chants on that one.
Oh, it's happening. Easy.
And this is a little bit of change of pace. This is probably two of the most eccentric teams in CCW. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not going to lie. Monster Mosh versus the Heavenly Butterflies. Lizzie.
A lot of interesting characters in that match, right? We have the Macho Man. We have our sadistic clown. We have our butterflies. But don't play with those butterflies. They're tough.
the butterflies are going to fly. The butterflies are going to fly all over Breakout. Monster Mosh, I mean, they got their hands full with the Heavenly Butterflies. I think they might finally meet a team that meets their insanity, but I don't know. Monster, you got Skits. He's not called Skits for fun and games. That man is actually schizophrenic. He has so many personalities. We can't even keep up with him. And then
all business in the ring.
And Ozzy might headbutt their heads off because it's just steel. There's nothing. It's just steel. It just goes straight through. I'm looking forward to it, Lizzie. Who do you think's got the advantage in this one?
Ooh, I would definitely say home court advantage is for Monster Mosh. So I think them coming off of their match on Thursday, they're going to be all fired up. They'll be ready. I think Monster Mosh is going to take it on Saturday.
It's a safe pick. Can't go wrong with Monster Mosh. And then look at this one just announced today. John Havoc making his debut in CCW. And what a way to make your debut against Jackal Stevens. This is going to be really interesting. We have not seen John Havoc, but he has been putting in that work at the training facility, and he called his shot against Jackal Stevens, and he's getting it. And who knows what Jackal he's getting, because he could be getting the Jackal that just got past Matt Riddle, or he could be getting the pissed off Jackal that lost to Matt Riddle and wants to take it on out on John Havoc. So I don't know, Lizzie. How do you think this one's going to go?
I think that you're exactly right, Tyler. I think that whatever happens on Friday is going to determine whatever version he gets of Jackal Stevens. But as we've said before, and we know Jackal is not the one to play with. He dances and he does all that cute stuff, but I think he's going to take Mr. Havoc to school.
Absolutely. I got to agree. It's a hard time for John Havoc. Here we go. Nelio, obsessed with the beef chants. Nelio loves them beef chants. Look, we got our very own from the broadcast team. Johnny, be good. Let's effing go. I agree. It's going to be such a fun weekend. I cannot wait.
Johnny, hey, twin.
Let's get back. Also, just announced today, Roma versus Ashley, them boys.
Oh, man. This is going to be a tough one. I mean, you didn't even ask me yet, but I'm just taking the floor here.
Take it. Take it.
I love Ashley. I think that she's been with CCW. She's made multiple appearances with us the last few years. I think that just the distinguishing styles between her and Roma will be really interesting to watch. Ashley also very powerful girl, very powerful lady. So I think that just that power game is definitely on her side as well. But like we said, Roma is a big favorite. Roma's former CCW women's champion, and she's not to be taken lightly either. So it's any woman's match.
Any women's match for sure. This is a huge weekend for women's wrestling and CCW. So many banger women matches coming out on these shows. And Roma, she's the hometown girl for CCW. We've seen Ashley at CCW on a couple occasions, but Roma, when you think CCW women's division, Roma is up there with some of the names you think about. But man, Ashley, I feel like anytime you put on the TV, she's on there, whether it be Impact, AEW, her face is out there. She has been putting in the work. I have no idea what's going to happen in that one. And look at this. Blake Banks versus Vinny Pacifico. This is going to be an interesting one. This is a really unique singles match, I think. Vinny Pacifico, we have not seen in CCW, but that's a guy that's been everywhere. Ring of Honor, AEW. He puts in the work, and he's got such a hybrid style. And then you got Banks on the other side, who has been really targeting Ariel Dominguez for that Cruiserweight Championship. I had the pleasure of calling a Banks match, and man, that guy is good. If maybe he can stop being so cocky and so into himself, he could really go after that Cruiserweight Championship, but he can't. So
he's the trust fund kid. Are you kidding me?
The trust fund kid. He buys into himself so much.
You know what? I think that the trust fund kid has a lot to prove. Like you said, he's on Ariel Dominguez's neck right now. So I think that he's going to be looking to make an example out of somebody on Saturday at Breakout, so that he can get that title shot and take that belt off of Ariel Dominguez.
Well, he should definitely not sleep on Vinny. It's going to be a good one. Vinny's going to come out there swinging. And I think if I'm looking at this rundown, I think we're at our main event. Oh, not just yet. Can't get ahead of myself. We still got a big singles match in Johnny Nova versus Brooklyn Outlaw Donovan. The Brooklyn Outlaw back in action this weekend, taking on Johnny Nova. And Nova, he's been on a little bit of a losing streak in these singles matches. I had the pleasure of talking to him backstage, and he told me that getting that big singles win is what he's looking for. He's trying to get back on track. He really wants to prove to himself that he does belong in the last territory, and he wants to go after some singles gold, but he knows he needs that big single win. Lizzie, could this be that?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Johnny Nova's been around. He's been with us for some time. He had a successful run as tag team champions with ERA. So he's tasted gold in CCW. He knows what that feels like. And I think that he's at a pivotal point in his, career where he does want to take things to the next level. And I think that this is an excellent opportunity for him to show CCW management that he's ready for that title shot.
And on the other side of that coin, what an opportunity this weekend is for the Brooklyn Outlaw. He has a chance to defeat ChaCha Charlie, former CCW heavyweight champion, and defeat Johnny Nova, former tag team champion. I mean, Brooklyn Outlaw can come out here and get some big upsets. We will have to see. But now it is time for maybe the craziest four-way in all of CCW history. It is the CCW Southeastern Champion Meadow taking on Chris Farrow, Damian Fenrir, and ChaCha Charlie as they all go to war for that prestigious Southeastern Championship. You got Meadow, Chris Farrow, Damian Fenrir, ChaCha, so many different styles. Lizzie, what do you think about this one?
My head is spinning.
A lot of names.
A lot of names. I do not envy Johnny because he's the announcer for Breakout. But I think that we're four completely different styles here, right? Let's just take a second. Let's dissect this. We have the champion, Meadow. Meadow is a powerhouse. Meadow has been the champion for well over a year now. Meadow is undefeated. I don't see anybody going through Meadow. But as we know, in this type of match, it's the champion's disadvantage because we have a high flyer like Chris Farrow, somebody that's been, I think, a 3-time, correct me if I'm wrong, CCW Cruiserweight champion. Right. Chris Farrow he's full of surprises. He's extremely athletic. He's extremely agile. Sometimes you can't count him out because you don't even know where he is half the time. And then you have somebody like Damian Fenrir, power game. Damian's been around a very long time as well. Damian is in a place where he is probably ready for that singles title, right? We're talking about people that are coming up and finding their own way and ready for that next challenge. This might be Damian's spot for it if he can get through 3 other guys. And then, of course, last but not least, we have the CCW franchise, ChaCha Charlie. ChaCha's working all weekend, literally. So this might be just the crowning achievement of the weekend, just walking away with the Southeastern Championship. So,
and I think that's the beautiful thing about Breakout. I mean, just so many opportunities for everybody. This Fatal 4-Way, like you said, so many different styles clashes. This is definitely the biggest threat to Meadow losing his championship because of the factor that any one of those other men can get pinned and he loses it. But I don't think Meadow's going to lose it anytime soon. I think Meadow finds a way. He's the Bulgarian Punisher. I mean, that dude just looks unstoppable.
I'm scared to see what would happen if Meadow loses. Let's just say that.
Oh, he will freak out.
The aftermath will be crazy.
And look at this, CCW's official account breaking news here. Anniversary 20, Brady Booker, Drago, and more added. See, that's why you got to tune into Insider. You get breaking news like that. Brandon here, he says ChaCha needs gold. Well, ChaCha might just do it. And I mean, what a weekend we got lined up. Just to recap a little bit here. Starting us off Thursday, we got Rumble in the Jungle 3 at Doral, Tripping Animals. Then Friday, Anniversary 20, April 19th, Port St. Lucie, Mid-Florida Event Center. And you're like, those two big shows can't get any bigger than that. Boom, Breakout comes out, slaps you right in the face. Breakout 35 from Pompano Beach, Florida, from the CCW Arena. Fans, why? Go to ccwrestlingfl.com. What are you doing? Go, just do it. Get tickets for all 3 days. Call out if you have to. It is going to be crazy. Come be a part of history. This is Florida wrestling history. There's never been a better time to be a fan of this great sport of professional wrestling. The last territory is firing off on all cylinders, and Lizzie, it's only going to get bigger from here.
It's only up from here, Tyler.
It's only up from here. Here is to 20 more years. I say, Lizzie, I think we can start wrapping up. This has been one hell of a show. I thank you so much for joining me on this one.
Thank you, and happy birthday, CCW.
Happy birthday, CCW. Fans, get your tickets, and we will see you soon.
You have been watching CCW Insider, produced by Minutes to Bell Time in association with Coastal Championship Wrestling.